riding superstars, welcome to Thursday's lesson with Georgia. You can keep walking, Georgia, sorry. So tell me specifically what the challenge is, or what you perceive the problem to be.
I think my problem is that I need to have more than one way to help to get around, that I need to adapt my way, learn how to adapt my way of getting horses around for different horses. Like Jerry will just go round, so I have to ask him to come forward. But with her, I feel like I can't do it.
Yep, so articulate the question.
Is there another way that I can work to get a horse round?
Yep. Okay, so...
Like, can I do one where it should be like a kind of position thing, where if I open up my position, or is there one like that? Or instead of just the outside rein firm, inside rein, squeeze, 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 squeeze.
So as I was just saying to Julie, the NLP practitioner in me says, I don't care how you get to outcome, as long as the strategy you use to get to outcome is sustainable, replicable, and good for the greater good. Like, it's got to be good for the horse, good for you, and good for the greater good. And if it's all of those things, if the strategy is patting your helmet and the horse goes round, just pat your helmet. Yeah, didn't work. Well, actually it did a little bit. But that would not be sustainable it's replicable, oh God, that word, and it's good for everyone, but it's not so good for you, and it's not sustainable because the judge won't allow you to do that. Yeah. So when you say to me, you're asking for another strategy on how to ride a horse round. Now, every horse is different, same as every human is different. So how I see it is, if I teach a school of students, 25 kids in the class, how to draw the alphabet, does one person in the class get to say, oh, I don't want to draw an A like that. My A is drawn like this. No. And it looks like a hieroglyphic from Egyptian times.
Yeah, no.
No. So there's a framework where it's like, no, your A must have like one diagonal line that way, one diagonal line that way, and a line in the middle. Now, when you look at people's handwriting and you see them draw the letter A, does any one of those 25 students, or does there anyone in the world write the letter A the same?
No.
No. So while you have to write the letter A, you can write it 10, and you yourself, how many different ways can you write the letter A?
Quite a few different ways.
You can write capital A, little a, curly writing A, bauble letter A, all that kind of stuff. So I think what you're asking is, how can you write the letter A differently, in terms of how can you get her onto the bit a bit differently. But the basic principle of inside leg to outside rein is
still there.
You have to.
Yeah.
Because doing this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
So we're not going to throw the baby out with the dishwasher and go, no, let's try, sit backwards and put the rein up to your head and let's see if that works. We're not going to throw everything out. We're just going to see, and as you said, that this horse reacts differently to a horse when you do it when you do the same strategy to a different horse.
Yeah.
So I think it's fair to say this horse is a little bit duller and a little bit less sensitive than your horse. Yep. So taking that knowledge on board, what would then that mean for your aids?
That they'd have to be firmer and I don't think sharper is the right word, but quicker.
Everything, bigger, sharper, stronger, more, because of the breed and the temperament that you're working with compared to the breed and the temperament that you're working with before. It has to mirror, what you're sitting on. How I ride my stallion Frisian is completely different to my sensitive warm blood mare. Both wouldn't work, but do I ride inside leg to outside rein? Of course. So does that help you?
Yeah.
Because you're asking me for the answer, but I'm telling you the answers are within you and within the horse.
Yeah, no, that really helps.
Okay.